Happy, I love how I'm like recording, like, you know what day of the week it is, and then you, Tuesday. Today is the 24th, first day back after my Tejas trip. So much fun. So, yeah, back from that, I'm going to show you guys what I got thrifting, and I mean, saw a lot of stuff, but then it's like, okay, what can you fit in your suitcase? Which I packed minimally just to err on the side of caution that if I found anything amazing to, I don't know if that's mascara, no, to like, then I have space for it in my suitcase. But yeah, it was super minimal on that, so that was not an issue. I flew back yesterday through George Bush airport and definitely survived the whole TSA no funding thing. So from walking into the airport to when I got to the end of the line was 15 minutes. When I got in line to when I got through security was like 6 minutes shy of 2 hours. Completely doable and totally fine compared to other horror stories. When I finally had made it to the main entry of the airport, because we had been basically like in the basement where the line had started, and so when we finally snaked all the way through and came out into like where you walk into an airport, we saw more snaking and more lines and tons of people. And they had the line stopping and then starting again, and that open spot was for other like traffic that people weren't getting in lines and stuff like that to kind of pass. And so they opened up the line because it stopped at me. They opened it up the line, and then as we were being escorted to kind of like the like official security spot, a cop stopped me, opened up the rope, and said, "We just opened up a new security spot." And he pointed to me. There was Homeland Security there and ICE people and a lot of hands on deck to help out. And so I kind of fast walked towards this kind of line of cops that were kind of corralling me to go down into this security area, and got through security in no time. So completely lucked out in the sense of being snagged at the perfect time, because who said that if I don't know if they were going into the line where people had already gone in front of me and pulling them and directing those people to come to the new security spot, or if they were letting those people stay in that line and then everyone after me be shuttled, kind of move towards this new security spot. But had I gotten into that first line and stayed, I think I would have missed my flight. I was there. By the time I got through security, I had a little over an hour to kill before boarding started. But there were a lot of people in line that were canceling their flights, rebooking, staying and just saying, F it, I'm just going to stay. Canceling business trips. The guy behind me that I made friends with, we're going to see this out with each other till the end. We were going to the same terminal. So when we got into with the security line, with the new security line, I looked at him and I said, do you know how freaking lucky we are that we got pulled at the right moment? He's like, yeah. I said, do you know how many hundreds of people we probably just bypassed? And then he was like, do you know how much waiting we just shaved off? And I said, easily probably an hour, hour and a half. He would have missed his second canceled flight. And I probably would have missed mine. So I got in line at 10:23 and we got through security at, it was like 12:20, 12:16, 18. And they were not boarding until 2:07. So, actually no. So 10, because I had 12. Was I in longer than 2 hours? Now I'm just thinking. 10:20, 11:20, 12:20. No, maybe it was boarding at 1:07. Anyway, totally lucked out. And yeah, no issues. So glad to be back. I definitely contemplated staying longer with my friend Tiffany, just to see if it would kind of pass the whole issues going on. But I was like, nope, let's go and risk it. So I'm going to show you what I started and am working on. This is my new start. A friend loveth. It is from Plum Street. Here is what it looks like. And yeah, I love the colors. Nice and bright. I love the large flower. So when I was in line, I pulled this out and I was stitching on it the whole time I was in line. So I was able to finish the words and the fill-in, and then I even added in some of the little motifs, tiny little motifs. But the thing was, we would kind of walk for a few yards and then stop, and then it was like, I'd have like 10 seconds to work on it, put a couple stitches in. I was watching like peripheral vision if the line was going to start going. I was starting to talk to people in the line. So definitely thought I would get more done, but I was also not like sitting and stitching. I was like moving. So yeah, so that is where I am at. So I kind of love that. I never traveled when like TSA, Homeland Security and stuff, the whole government shut down last year, the end of last year. So this piece will definitely remind me of, I was in like one of the biggest airports in the country and it was a total shit show, and I survived it and I was fine. And it wasn't all that bad. I wasn't stressed out. The people were really nice. Was talking to the cops and the Homeland people, and it was funny when the cop, you know, pulled me and said, okay, we're going to start, we opened up a new line. And so I was the first in line. And so everyone behind me was following, and it was, you know, flanked with police. And I remember I looked at one of the cops and I said, oh my God, is this what it feels like when you get chosen to go to heaven? He freaking died laughing as I was like walking, like kind of fast walking by. And he was like, God, I hope not. So, but yeah, good old Plum Street. So this is what I will be working on. And this is in a bag that someone sent to me because they were wanting to get rid of their stash. And I was like, that is too freaking cute. So I will be working on this. I need to add it to my whip wheel. And then I'm going to have John spin it probably tomorrow to see what I will be working on. All right. We're going to kind of, no, let's stay with the whole Tejas. Tiffany gifted me this gorgeous skull bag. Why do I feel like the skulls kind of look like Michael Jackson? So yeah, love this. See, we went to 3 Stitches, which is in Spring, Texas. Went in and looked around, a lot of great charts, and I decided to pick this up. This is from Kathy Barrick, Witch Training Academy, and I showed John this last night, and I was like showing it to him, and then I was looking, I was like, Jesus, I don't know if I'm gonna stitch all those bats. He's like, yeah, it's kind of bat heavy, it's kind of batshit crazy. And then we looked at him, and he's like, this Kathy lady should have called it batshit crazy. And I said, well, I know Kathy, so I can totally message her and let her know. But yeah, so I grabbed that. Went thrifting, and if you follow me on Stitching and Skulls, I posted pictures of needlepoint we had found, and a metal spool cabinet, and yeah, so of course, me and dead people, $5. So this was a yes. I loved how he looked. He kind of has like a little jerry curl thing going on. And he looks like he's a few days from dying. I'm not really sure. And it has the signature September 8th, 1924, or the date. And then it does have the signature, very sincerely. I think it's Gottlish. I'm not sure what the middle initials are, because it looks like there's, maybe it's an L, and then Schmidt. But look at him. Doesn't he look like he is gonna come find you in your dreams? And then, yeah, so I loved that it was dated with the signature, which, God, look at that penmanship. Fantastic. So yeah, $5. Yes, you're coming home with me. And I think that is it. Oh, you guys, my grandparents are telling me hi so freaking hard. So again, last video I told you guys I picked up a larger plate, and so many of you guys recognized the pattern, because you're like, my grandparents had the same plates. My parents had the same plates. So the whole platitudes charts that came out at Market, little designs, you flat fold them, and then you use a plate to frame it up to attach it, because we can go to thrift stores and you find all these one-off plates, and it's a great way to use them. And then, you know, you can get hooks and hang plates up on your wall. And what I really love is adding, you know, frames are, you know, straight lines and, you know, 90-degree corners. And it's like, to break that monotony up, you throw in a circular, a different shape, and I think it's going to look fantastic. So I had picked this plate up last weekend when John and I went thrifting. It was $3, and I was like, that's what I'm going to use for a platitude. Then I talked about how I should have purchased another one to stitch something for my mom, because my mom would totally remember these plates. So that's what this is. We kept finding the Desert Rose Franciscan earthenware pattern all over the place. Every antique place we went into, we kept finding it. And it wasn't until last night when I came home and was telling John, look, I found another goddamn plate. It occurred to me Saturday, the 22nd, was my grandfather's anniversary of his death. It had been 5 years. Sunday, we went thrifting. He was saying hi so hard every place. And the first time it was like, oh my God, like finding, you know, this out in Texas. And then every place we went, we kept finding like the full sets, the salt and pepper shakers and the big serving platters, and more pieces of this line I had never seen before. And it was like, hi Papa, hi Gammy, I see you guys. You guys were telling me hi. And then when we were leaving the final place, before we called it quits, there were like 3 pictures, and I was like, okay, you guys, I see you. Yes, hi. So, yeah, I picked this plate up. I think it was like $6. So I'm going to stitch something for my mom on this one. I'm going to keep the larger one for myself. So, yeah, so much fun. All right. And yeah, that was it. Definitely planning on, don't know, next time I'll go back to Texas. The weather was fantastic. Went to Rodeo Houston on Saturday night. Tim McGraw was playing. I am not a country fan. I don't mind country music, but it's definitely not a preset on my car, on my Spotify. I know Tim McGraw songs, but I could not name one. So it was cool seeing him in concert because I know how popular he is in the country music industry and as an artist. So it was cool going and seeing him, because otherwise I would have never gone to a Tim McGraw concert. I put out, or I guess when this video goes up, you will see I have put out 2 new charts from Merrily Beams. I'm getting down to it, you guys. I am so close to releasing her full catalog. So this is T for 2, Merrily Beams. That house, the little band of flowers, and then I think this is super cute with the animals, the little couple and their chairs and table. So freaking cute. DMC, and nice, large, legible chart. There is, you know, overlapping of the stitches from above, nice and clear. PDF, paper copy. That is T for 2. Only found at 1884 Stitchery. Remember, I buy the IPs, intellectual properties, of these companies and re-release all of the charts within their catalog. So if you go to 1884 Stitchery, you will see a list of all 11 companies that I own. If there are any charts that you are looking for that falls under one of those names that I have not released, then let me know and I'll put it in the queue, or bump it to the front. So, all right. This next one has been a little bit of a long work in progress. So, Sheepish Designs, this is alphabet pillows, and you get all 5 charts in one. The B is for bee, H is for home, R is for rabbit, S is for sheep, V is for viper. All DMC. This is the DMC list for all 5 pillows. And you will see, let's do the B for B. So I gotta look at it before I show you guys. The B for B, there's the little scene, right? The large alphabet is A through F. But then if you do the second pillow in the series, the large alphabet continues and then continues as you go and repeats. There is a smaller alphabet that is also then repeated from pillow to pillow. So the first pillow ends at M, and then the second pillow starts at N. So you can do them individually, you can do them vertically, horizontally, stack them all up, or just do one. So the rabbit. Actually, I have the larger photos I can show you. Yeah, because here they are. This is the originals that I worked off of, but wanted to put all 5 in one. So here's what the R for rabbit looks like. The H, B is for B, and then you can see for B is for B, there is a B that is placed on the corresponding letter. S is for sheep. V is for viper. So I'm going to have a couple different options in which you can purchase the charts. Obviously, it all comes 5 in one. If I get enough of a ask, I'm open to down the line selling the pillows individually, but at least for now you get all 5 in one. So you will get the paper copy and the PDF copy. Now if you purchase the paper copy, it will also include the brass bees. You'll get 19 of them, because it takes 19 of the brass antique beads to decorate these pillows. So 19 are needed. You will receive a hard copy plus 19 of them. The PDF version you won't, but I will have a listing that if you are interested in the bee charms, that you can purchase them as a separate listing. So look for that. Those both will be up by the time this video goes up. Let's see, what else? Last video I showed you guys Phoebe's Forest. I finished it this morning. I got it all done. So I worked on it for a couple hours last week before I left for my trip. We went to the pool, and yeah, there were just a couple. There was one deer to stitch in, which was this guy here. This tree I had to put in, this here, and then add like the little rose, little flowers. Stitch that one in. So yeah, super minimal, and now it is finished. Oh, and I had to stitch in the 18. So yeah, this is gonna get ironed, and who knows. I really like it though. I'm really happy that I finished it. And you know, when I was starting to stitch it at the pool last week, I was thinking, you know, who was this from? And I believe that it was started by the stitcher who was losing her eyesight. She stitched predominantly in silks, and I believe that this was a piece that was hers, wasn't finished, and so I believe it's Carol's piece, and she's the same one that I finished the what is it, the chili pepper sampler and the Spanish sampler. So I think all three are the same person. I know the two are, but I believe this was also hers as well. So I need to do that. I need to pull those pieces and write who started them, and then that I finished them, and leave a little note with this one as well. Let's see, what else do I have coming down the pipeline? I carry a designer on my website that I have, sad to say, I have neglected for a good couple years, getting her charts out in PDF format. I do not own this company. I definitely forgot about it. No, it's horrible. I messaged her and told her, and she's like, this is why I should not be in business. And I said, clearly this is why I need to lessen stuff off my plates or keep better notes. So, coming down the pipeline soon are more charts from Hands to Work. So, this is Patience 1898. I have Patience all charted, and I just need to send out and get all formatted. And I also have Hannah Miller's sampler all ready to go and just needs to be sent out. So stay tuned. If you'd love some Hands to Work charts, I got you. This one I came across, and I love how bright it is. This is Moonflower. And I would definitely stitch this. So, stay tuned for Hands to Work. All right, that is it. I'm going to go shower. I'm going to go stitch. I'm going to go spend some time with John. His shingles look fantastic. You would think that he doesn't even have them or had them. There's a little slight discoloration still from them healing, but I think come wedding, they will not be visible. Oh, not our wedding. No. I don't want rumors to start. He is the best man in a wedding mid next month. So, yeah, going to San Diego for that. And then girlfriend of mine, who I'm stitching the shell piece for, her daughter is getting married in May. So, yeah, I need to go shopping soon for a wedding, for the San Diego wedding, because I have nothing to wear that is wedding appropriate in my closet. So stay tuned for that. Follow me on Stitching and Skulls, because I might need some opinions on dresses to wear to a wedding. But yeah, I'll check in with you guys tomorrow. Good morning. It is Wednesday, 9:15. Woke up early this morning, like 7 a.m. Not gonna lie, it was kind of nice. John gets up early. He leaves for work around 6. He's pulling some long days this week. So I heard and felt him getting up, and so we were in bed early. I think we went to bed a little bit after 9 o'clock. He was exhausted. I thought I was going to stay up and stitch, but I went to bed and then scrolled on my phone for a little bit, and I was like, I'm done. I think I'm still trying to make up from sleep over the weekend. So I wanted to get on here. Look what I just brought up. Nicely, I was going to say framed. No, ironed. So, yeah. Excited about this. So, I'm going to be taking some stitched pieces with me. Why? I am going to check out art. It's called the Art Resource Center. And recycling art-worthy materials for creative minds. They are located in Tempe, so any of my local people, look up, yeah, the Art Resource Center. So it was incorporated in '04 by this fiber and ceramics artist, and wanted to collect and give away supplies that would be used. So I know some places in different states have similar things. So give your computer a little Google and see if you can come across anything like this in your area. The first time I went to something like this was in Austin, Texas, for the very first FlossTube retreat, and that's where I picked up Austin, my fake leg, for like $5, and it was at like an art center. So think thrift store, but just arts and crafts. So maybe somebody for some reason has collected, 100 toilet paper rolls. They will take those to the art center, because who knows, there might be a teacher that's looking for them. And I believe if you're a teacher or something, you get the things for free. But it's all run by volunteers, sustained by donors. And now they have over 4,000 square feet of space. So you walk in, they have a whole like layout. So they have like different aisles. Aisle 1, fabrics, cottons, polyester, flannel, fleece, upholstery, coffee sacks. 2, fabric, silk, satin, leather, ribbon, trims. They have crayons, markers, pencils, patterns, junk jewelry, yarn, house paint, doll making, stickers, stencils, magazines, calendars, books, photos, paper, canvases. Photography, stamps, needle crafts, quilt patterns, old media, shoe boxes, floral, glass jars, stained glass, large containers, tin, kitchen plastics, egg cartons, ceramics, mosaics. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Framing materials, hardware, frames, woods. So I have found some of the most amazing frames, thrift stores, stuff like that, because you can usually find funky sized frames, not the standard ones. So a lot of frames I have picked up, either just the frame themselves, or if there is something framed in them, you can tell it's been a professional job. So if you're at a thrift store and you can pick the frame up for a couple bucks, and it has an amazing frame on it, you just like committed some sort of like crime by being able to get it for super cheap. So I'm going to take some of my pieces and see if I can find any frames for them. If I find any frames that I just like, I will bring them back and see, because I have a whole bin. I think I have 2 bins. The 2 bottom bins here are all my finished pieces. Now, if you've been with me some time, and when I was still at the house and I had those floating frames behind me, I had stuff framed up, and just kind of leaning and, But when I moved out of the house and I looked through my framed up pieces, some of them I was like, I still like the stitched piece, but I don't like how I framed it. Or I'm going to take it out and make it into a pillow, or make it into a flat fold, or do something else. So how I have framed stuff in the back is the frame, the glass, the stitched piece, and the backing. That's it. I don't stretch it. I don't use sticky board. I'm not against sticky board. I know a lot of people get all uppity about it. Okay, first off, use sticky board. And people like, oh, it's gonna, eat your stitches and turn yellow. You'll probably be dead by the time that happens. Your kids will probably be dead by the time that happens. So if you want to use sticky board, go crazy. If you want to lace, fine, to each their own. I don't do either of those things. I literally make it a sandwich. And I know for a fact, you guys are going to see my PJs. This piece that I stitched for my grandma after my grandpa died. This is a couple lines from their song. And all I did was glass, and I used the glass as a template. So ironed it, attached the photo, I think with like a piece of tape, like doubled it and looped it, and then just stuck it on, because obviously in the glass, once it's, you know, squished together like a sandwich, it's not going anywhere. Then I used the glass as the template, and I made sure I liked the measurements all the way around, and I just took a regular pen, and as I held down the glass, I marked. Then I cut, cleaned the glass, added in the fabric in the photo, and threw in the back. That's how I frame. So, and there's no sagging, droopiness, nothing. And I get it in there nice and tight. And so this is how that technique of kind of just sandwiching has been my go-to framing process for years and years and years. Because it's simple, it's straightforward, and it's fast. So I wanted to get on here, tell you guys where I will be going. And okay, that's a art gallery. So they open at 10 a.m. So if you are local and you are able to go, they are only open Wednesday, so today, from 10 to 5, and then Saturday from 9 to 3. And they accept donations 1 hour before the store closes. So I wanted to go last Wednesday, and I was just too busy with stuff, and I was like, I'm gonna go today. So let's see, how our resource 7 South Non-Court, let's see how long it's gonna give me to get there. Like 22 minutes as of right now. So I'm gonna be there, I'm gonna get ready, I'm gonna go. It's 9:30. Of course I'll take video and all of that stuff. So any videos, photos from here on are at the Ark. And then when I get back, I'll show you guys what I was able to purchase. They take cash, Zelle, and Venmo. So I'm going to take cash because cash is king. So I'm excited to go. I'm excited to see what I can get. Frames, God knows what else. And I'll be back. So you guys can see here that it is just fabric, and it's organized in some fashion. Little scraps, bigger cuts. Big yardage, all kinds of different pieces. That's stunning. Look at that. Interfacing stabilizer. And then they have bolts of stuff. This here is kind of like the needlework, needlepoint canvases, some scraps of fabric. They have zippers. I started a bag. Here they have some of the DMC cabinets with DMC. And then they have thread like for sewing machines. So here's another whole area: measuring, quilting, aprons, shoulder and bra pads. Here are like glass bottles, spice jars, like bits of flooring and tile work, backsplash. This is like plastic board. Excuse me. Definitely dusty in here. So tile grout stuff. Cigar boxes, seashells, pine cone, that mask. Okay, so here is like frame. They have picture corners, molding. Electrical stuff is on the other side. There's like wood scraps. And then here are all the frames. They have some stuff with pictures. Here's some other stuff. Ooh, what's this? Uh-oh, that's someone's. All-American Boy pierced ear holder. But yeah, like the backing, when you trim, they have paint here. So nothing has prices. It's just when you get up, when you leave, you donate whatever you see so fits. So rolls of paper, big sheets of construction paper, boxes, photos, calendars, book jackets, cards, more books. Here are like graduation cards, Easter, Blankenside, baby. You're a teacher and you need that trim that we all grew up with. Here are other sheets of paper, educational aids. So there's for the teachers. Big calendars. So all these drawers have stuff. Here's my bag. Here are big pieces of cardstock. Here we have canvases that are painted, and then here are all mats. And there's more there. It just goes and goes. All right. I am back from the ARC place. I should have inserted the videos. Oh my god. Pulled into the parking area. It was freaking jammed. But it's also located around other businesses. So I thought, if anything, it's the employee. Nope, probably a lot of those cars were the people that were in there. So it is definitely a hot spot. So I think because they're only open up twice a week and they spend probably the rest of the time cleaning and organizing, it's like if you were looking for something specific or see what they got, you got to be one of the first people in. So yeah, so much fun. I was able to, so you see people, I walk in, and people had their own like bags to carry stuff in, and I'm like, okay, I don't have the bag, but luckily when you went into like the back room area, they had all kinds of paper bags with handles, without, for you to grab. And then they're like, you can take multiple trips out to your car instead of carrying the stuff, or use multiple bags. And so I grabbed a bag and just kind of went aisle by aisle, and yeah, brought a whole bag of stuff. So I'm gonna show you. I am packaging up the order. So yesterday I did pull a name. Remember, it was for the 6 charts. So Amanda Tatum won. So Amanda, I just spoke to you, and here is your goodies. They're coming to you. So I said, I just like throw it. So that'll go in the mail, Amanda, tomorrow. Congrats. And remember, April 1st, I'm picking for this. So if you're interested in this chart, go back to last week's video and watch. So, okay. So, like I told you guys before I left, I had the intention of going and finding some charts. So, I had taken this piece, Ruby, and my eagle, but that place was like cutthroat trying to like get stuff and see things. If you just said hi, if you just said out loud or in your head that this dress was really cute, thanks. So it was definitely like cutthroat. You could not be meek or timid, because if you were interested in grabbing something or looking through a bin, like, you better say excuse me and get to it. So thank God I'm tall and I got long arms, so I was able to check out bins that were like on the top shelves, and find some good stuff. So I had the whole intention of, you know, taking the stitched pieces, pulling frames, but there is not a lot of room to kind of do that. It's more so you take it, you put it in your bag, and if you're not sure if it's going to fit, you take it anyway. And when you get home, if it doesn't fit, then guess what? The next time you go to the ARC, you just redonate it. So they had, as you could clearly see, lots and lots of stuff. Here is the card. The Art Resource Center. It is located in Tempe, Arizona. Patterns, crochet, any sort of knit, craft, fabric. They had big bolts, they had small cuts, they had stuff for leather goods, plastic canvas, wools. Do you knit? Do you do paper crafts? What kind of colors do you want? Stickers, stamps, big stamps, little stamps, individual stamps. Do you do mosaics for tiling? They had that. They had wire, jewelry making. I mean, any, they had medicine bottles with the lids off in a pile and the lids there. There was a whole container of like metal beer tops, like the, why am I like totally spacing? The caps on beer bottles, paintbrushes, crayons, colored pencils, markers, wood frame edges like molding, construction paper, canvases, clean canvases, canvases that had been used. So, I mean, it was just insane. So I was looking through all of the needlepoint. They had a needlepoint section, but I still looked through it. I even was looking through all of the quilt patterns, which were kind of next to the cross stitch and knitting and stuff like that, because who knows if there would have been cross stitch patterns. And sure enough, there were. Now these are all like folded inside of each other. So again, I walked in, they had a whole book room of stuff. And they're like, you know, I said, okay, first time here, how does this whole thing work? She's like, nothing has prices. Basically, when you walk out, there's a collection bin, and you put in there whatever you can give, whatever you're willing that you think the stuff is worth. You give what you can, keeping in mind that the space has been donated, but they need to, you know, electricity and air. All the volunteers aren't paid, so you keep that in mind. So Lizzie Kate, Bent Creek, all these little ones, this is what they were all jammed together, and these were on the outside. The lady, and they're constantly doing, people are coming for, that one's really cute, that one's really cute, donation drop-offs. And I said it wrong, they take donation drop-offs up until an hour before they close, not the last hour, an hour before they close. And people were offloading from their cars and their trucks the whole time. Now, you're not going to find like big pieces of furniture, stuff like that, but in the front of the store when you walked in, they had two really disheveled, really worn sewing cabinets, like Singer sewing cabinets, and those had a price of $125, but they didn't have the machines. The wood looked like crap. It was definitely sort of a, you'd be really DIYing to make it look anything like worth anything good. So they had definitely a lot of what I would consider like $2 cross-stitch charts. See what else. I picked these up for, just want to see, I guess they get thicker, but it's washable Elmer's liquid chalk outside. They had quite a few of these, and I just grabbed one of each color. So I got these if John's daughter would be interested. I picked 4 frames, and this one was so bright and colorful, really heavy duty like wood, but how cute is that piece? I guess it lost a little stone here, but if I put it on the bottom and have it on a shelf, you won't see. So I picked that up. No glass, nothing like that, but that's easy enough to use, like, you know, a thick piece of, you know, cardboard or something like that to make. This, I thought if I needed to paint over it, it would be good. So I grabbed this frame, and it has the back and the glass. Another wood frame. And it was like separating, and all I did was like push it together. So again, it's been painted. So I picked that one up, and then this one was clearly a professional job at one point. I guess it could have just been somebody that really wanted to make it look professional, but it has the little wire hanger. It was completely covered at one time. And I just thought that was just a really nice looking frame. So I picked those 4 up. Needlepoint. So they had needlepoint section, and then a lot of the bins weren't really organized, just because it's like, you know, people are going through them and stuff gets moved and all of that. So this was something that caught my eye. It was just this. So the bag has, you know, all of the wool, yarn, whatever, to fill the background. But look, it is ready to go to be upholstered onto something. So I thought the flowers in the middle, really pretty. I don't know what I'll do with this. I have no idea. But I picked that up. gonna throw that bag away with all the other yarn because I won't be using it. And a lot of it was like, just grab it, and if it looked promising, then you take it. Because there were people like, hey, I'm behind you. And definitely like a free-for-all. So, and the aisles were not very wide, less wide than like a grocery store aisle. So there were times where I just grabbed like the plastic bins and I was up against like the shelving and just going through the bins. And if I saw anything, then I grabbed it. So I haven't even opened this up yet, so who knows, like, what. A sampler by Blanche Hall Lee, 1830, from the collection of Hayes House in Bel Air, Maryland. That's what it looks like. Oh my god, this is a roadmap kind of chart. Holy shit, if I've ever seen one. Come on. This... I have never seen a chart like this. This, oh, I'm going to post about this. This is freaking ridiculous. Could you guys imagine if I started re-releasing all the companies and charts on paper like this? I would piss you guys off and lose business so damn quick. Look at this. Could you guys... Here, let me stand back here so you guys can see my whole project. Stop. They can't. I can't. That is freaking ridiculous. This must be over one. Okay, that's more. Okay, and then just information. Oh my god. I'm totally going to post about that. And here's fabric. 40 count Newcastle flax. It's a fourth of a yard. But it's from Crisscross Row in Delaware. So that was included in. So I just grabbed it. Saw this cross stitch pattern. Let's see. Does it say where it's from? Nope. This is from Stitch Quarterly, so it's one of the It's So Emma charts. Alright, what else? I thought the front cover of this was just really, really pretty. How it's like obviously like a drawing, picture painting, but then they've like used and they've edited it to, and like this is actual sewing. So here's needle, look, needlework spelled out. A tribute to needlework, Craftworks International. Do we have a 1993? I was 7. With lots of cute little motifs. A chatelaine, a hoop, basket, a quilt design, scissors. Is that pie? Doesn't this look like a piece of pie? But it's a bobbin. Look, the floss is being wound, but I totally thought that was like a piece of pie. It's my diet showing. And then yeah, those charts. And then the full alphabet. So it's more than just the words needlework. So yeah, I thought that was super cute, so I grabbed that. And it was kind of like Oh, see, you look? Okay, in the cart, in the bag it goes. I believe I have a copy of this in my inventory. Jeannie Thompson, favorite illustrations from children's classics, and counted cross-stitch. There's Alice in Wonderland and The Wizard of Oz, and yeah, and so you can see here all the characters. White Rabbit, there's Alice, Cheshire Cat, Toto, Tin Man, and then in the book room area, there was one book, so I grabbed this. All Our Yesteryears Cross-Stitch Collection, 33 Charming Designs from Bygone Days. And the lady in there, she was like the book lady. She's like, what can I help you find? And I'm like, cross-stitch, needlework. She's like, bottom shelf. And have you been here before? And I said, no. And she's like, all right. So like, obviously, it's just, you know, we ask you to not, you know, clear out a whole section. You know, take only what you need. But she's like, if there's a book that you really, really like, just take it and thumb through it, and you can always redonate it. And I said, perfect. Now, this is probably the most random thing that I picked up. These are all earrings. Now, obviously, they're not anything crazy special. They're all made in China. But what's so funny, the part you like push through your ear, look, they're plastic. They're plastic instead of like metal. So, red, clear, there's kind of purple, blue, pink, and then black. So I'm not wearing these, but the red ones, I guess I could have opened this up and then just taken the red ones and left the rest, but I want to add the red ones to, you know, the Iron Maiden piece that I'm stitching? Underneath the Iron Maiden's, like under her eyes, you're supposed to do like French knots. And I thought, and I had this thought weeks ago when I was stitching it at the California retreat, instead of the French knots, I could get really small, like Swarovski crystals. Remember when I did that to my Mira years and years ago? And I will do the Swarovski crystals and maybe some other places on this Iron Maiden to give it a little sparkle. When I saw these red ones, I thought, those are perfect. So, obviously they're in earring form, but I'm pretty sure I could pop it off and then have the stone and then just, yes, glue the stone, or I'll push it through the fabric and pierce it and attach it and then cut off whatever remaining part of the plastic part is sticking and see if that works. So, picked those up. I didn't even look and see which one this one was, but a Birds of a Feather chart. So, I've never seen this one, but I think that one's like actually really, really pretty cute. So, that was a yes. And then, if you are coming to Stitch-nanigans, April 1st to the 4th, you will be receiving one of these vintage heavy poker chips, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna make them into needle minders or what I will do with them for now, but these will be incorporated into Stitch Shenanigans. I still have spots available. 1884 Stitchery. I believe I have it under the tab up at the top, 1884 Stitchery Exclusives. It is the very first listing, and it's the registration for Stitch Shenanigans with all the information down below. But I also have a Facebook group that is open, and that is, because I remember I went in a few weeks ago and changed it. So I was like, I'm not going to keep it private, I'm going to make it public. So search 1884 Stitchery, Stitch Shenanigans 2026. I'm pretty sure if you just do Stitch Shenanigans, it will come up. And that you will find all the information. So I saw these in a bin and I was like, oh, and I looked through them and there were a mix of like cheesy plastic ones, and then like these are like the real deal heavy ones. So I went through them and picked out all of the really, really good ones. So yeah, so I will be taking these downstairs and cleaning them so they are all nice. And that was it. I picked all of that up. On my way out, I made a cash donation. So I look forward to going back. And I think, again, it's one of those things. You could go back weekly and find new things every single time. So I probably won't go back next Wednesday, but I could definitely see myself going there at least once a month and kind of see what new stuff they have laid out. All right, I'm gonna get to work, do some stuff in my office. I'm gonna try to fold up that big ass piece of paper, and yeah, I'll check in with you guys. Probably not today, but tomorrow for sure, with where I am at on the Plum Street piece I am working on. And then obviously I'll have John's spin, so I will report back in the morning progress and what I will be working on. Tomorrow I have Stitching Friends get together in the morning, and then I will be driving up north. Cal has a baseball game, and then Friday lunch with my stitching group. So yeah, lots of good stuff coming up for me this week, and you guys will see me in the morning. Today's Friday. Now, different look. As you can see, I have sun coming straight in, and I usually have this plantation shutter open, but working here in the evening, I just can't anymore. It's like a direct line straight in my face. I can't. So doing a little reorg of my desk, but also need to make sure I still have a good propped up spot for my video. So it's good to go. John spun the wheel and landed on Iron Maiden. So tomorrow I will show you an update on that. But the stopping point on my Plum Street sampler piece, A Friend Loveth, and there's going to be a little altering of the ladies, so I need to rechart that because now that there's a weird, now that this is all stitched, and I wanted to do the ladies last, now I have, you know, a certain window to work within. So that is where I have gotten to, and I love it. So Cal had a baseball game yesterday, so I was able to finish up, like, I started the flower in the morning and was able to get, there we go. Love the variegation on the pink. There's the variegation in the green as well. So I was able to finish up the leaves part, and then these, you know, like just the little one-off things. I'm just gonna call them doodads from now on. Got all the doodads stitched. So this will be put away. Working on Iron Maiden. My fun and funky dress. This is from Farmario. It's out of Brazil, and it is just so weird and funky, and it looks like the things are stitched, but they're not. They're just like that on the fabric. So I have a few Farmario pieces. Love them. All right. Let's see. I can close those other plantations, but then I was afraid it was going to go a little too dark in here. So, okay. The Art Resource Center that I went to the other day, the frame that I picked up was perfect for this needlepoint piece that I snagged off of the freebie table beginning of the month. So yeah, I love how that turned out. And it's, again, I took just some cardboard from actually USPS envelopes, cut them down, and I did about 3 layers, and that's all. This is taped down very little on the inside ledge, the little lip of the frame, and then I took packing tape and just pushed it all down, as you can see, and it's in there. It's good to go. So I love how that turned out. And then I forget where I got this frame from. Obviously thrifting somewhere. Oh, this was the lady, you remember I went to her house for the garage sale and all the stuff was like super expensive off Facebook Marketplace. This was that frame. And how fantastic does this look? This is Heart in Hand. Yes, it already had 1884. I didn't have to chart that or change it. Rhonda's Originals on Etsy. And she has some fantastic, I thought I was following her on Etsy, but when I went on to figure out what the name of it was, I didn't think it was as obvious as Heart in Hand. She's definitely released more that I was not aware of, and I freaking love it. So I love this. I love how this looks, and it's a little stand piece, so I'm going to figure out somewhere to put it. So I can join, maybe just right here on my little ledge. I usually have this acrylic stand under my computer, but I'm kind of loving the computer being lower. I only raised it to like give more desk room, but yeah, I need more desk room, so this might, I don't know if this will stay or what, but yeah, cleaning off the area, but I really like that there. So yeah, had a great lunch with my Stitching Ladies group. John came and met them, and I feel like got the approval from my other mothers, and we're gonna go to Costco now, because what do you do on a Friday night when you can't go out and get weird? You go to Costco and overspend. So if I get anything good, I'll report back to you guys tomorrow. But in the meantime, happy stitching. You guys will see me tomorrow. It's Saturday. Yes, it is. I don't know where the week went. I just realized, oh my God, this week has flown by. Flown by. Did I tell you guys I'm already going back to Texas? Did I tell you guys this? I can't remember. Anyway, going back to Texas. I ordered the ticket a couple days ago. So yeah, at that time, I had not even been home for 89 hours yet. And I'd already booked my next trip to Texas. So when I'm going, I have this calendar. I have to like write down all my trips. March, okay. April, end of April, I'm leaving on the 30th. But on April 10th, John and I are going out to California for the wedding. So what is on my agenda this week? I need to go dress shopping. I need to figure out what I'm going to wear and if I can find anything also for the wedding that I'm going to in Florida in May. So I'm pulling up Kayak because I need to book tickets for that. Anyway, hi. Went to the pool, back to the Crown Plaza, got some sun. Don't have to really work hard on it. So, what did I take to work on? Charlotte the Harlot, Iron Maiden. This is from Uncanny Carry, uncannycarry.com. And if you guys remember, I took this to start on, I started this at the beginning of the month when I went to California for the Live and Die LA Spring Awakening Retreat. My girl, Miss Kendra, hooked me up with the Brin and Needle called for threads. Fantastic. And I am stitching this on, where did I just see it? The Gray Stuff, Grace Notes Fabrics. So wonderful. Give them a shot if you have not already. 36 count. And yeah, I freaking love it. It's so good. It's so good. I'm in love with it. So got her face fully done. And I'm loving how, let's open this just a little, not too far. I love the variegation that you can see, these little lines around her head, on her face, so like her cheeks, and then this dark up around her, up above like her forehead are all a shade. Her eyes and lips are obviously a shade, and then her skin tone. So yeah, it's freaking fantastic. I was able to fill in, so I finished her face this morning, and then at the pool I filled in what you see of this bow, and I absolutely love that you can tell that there is a, you know, clear distinction between what's outlined and what it's filled in. And I think that it just looks, it looks so good. I freaking love it. So I'm working on the way down, and this is the piece that I was telling you guys about that I had in mind for those earrings that I found at the Art Resource Center, because I'm hoping the smallest ones are perfect, because you have to, well, you don't have to do anything, but on the chart she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like French knots, but I thought how great would that be if I maybe added in some of the smallest little stones instead. Now, who knows? I might get done with this and then be like, I'm not going to add any stones, or I'm going to put them on, I'll bling her up maybe in different areas. Like, there's these flowers, and maybe like, let's see, the center of the flower, I'll add one. Right? Maybe the center of the flower, I'll just kind of add them there. So we'll see when the time comes what I decide to do. But loving this piece. I'm still working on my desk, trying to get the most real estate. So I'm going to finish Charlotte, continuing on her. I think what I want to do is finish the pages. I think what I want to do is finish before I move on, because then that will give me the top 2 pages done. So I think that's what I'm going to do, instead of saying like, oh, I'll work on it till Tuesday, because I know I'll get a lot of this done tonight. We're back in. We are going to watch the UFC fights, so stay tuned. I might have all of that, if not pretty damn close to all of it, when I check in with you guys tomorrow. I thought there was something else I was going to add, but I don't think so. So tomorrow I will check in with you guys and get this out there. And then, let's see, stay tuned, because Wednesday I will be picking the winner for the Heart's Chase piece. So, that's it. I hope you guys had a nice weekend, and I'll check in with you guys tomorrow. I failed getting this video out yesterday on Sunday. Today is Monday, so I'm gonna do a quick little where I'm at, and then start a new vlog for the week. I'm so happy that you guys are loving these. It's been really fun, kind of looking forward to sharing stuff with you, like if I go to that art resource center, taking you guys on my little excursions. So like I told you, been working on Iron Maiden. I wanted to get the first 2 pages done, which is like there and across. So I got the top half completely done. I haven't put in the back stitching in her face, which you cannot see in the slightest, but it's there, and I know it's there, and that gives me satisfaction. And then I don't have anyone later down the line saying, McKenna, her eyes aren't defined. You didn't put in the back stitching. .36 count. Great, the gray stuff from Grace Notes Fabrics. Look how good. Let me open up my windows. I love it. It's so good. Get nice and close. The variegation on this thread, that all the little spikes around her head, are all the same thread. Look at that little variegation on them. Her face, so like the skin part, is all one thread. Her cheeks and her eyes. I love how like the bow around her, you can clearly see the darker outline and the fill-in color. There's so much movement to it. The spikes, like look, this spike was a different color and not all like this darker red. This here, like these floral little bits, is the same as her skin and the little spikes. I freaking love it. It's coming out so good. I love it on this purple fabric. So, yeah. So she will be going away. Now, I know you can clearly get, let's see, can I throw this away? Hell yeah, I can throw this away. Doesn't it just feel so good when you can throw part of a chart away? Now, I don't know if you can still get these colors from Brin and Needle, B-R-I-N. I mean, so much extra thread that's like totally necessary for this piece. So I will be so keeping these to work on another piece. They're a little bright there. Yeah, they're showing a lot brighter, and they're definitely not. So I freaking love them. Thank you, Kendra, my girl. Now they do have the DMC equivalent, so let me show you, because 42 was the gobbles. So 4200 was the DMC, because I did not have the called for color, so I was just going to do the DMC, but then Kendra gave me the hookup. So 4200 is supposed to be this, which is, you know, pretty damn close, but this definitely has more variegation. So just know you can go on to Uncanny Carry, purchase it, download it, and maybe you don't want to do it in like these shades of like red and pink. All right, change it up. It'd be amazing to see it like in an all black and gray, or like a blue. So again, it's 4 colors. You could easily, you know, make it your own. All right, let's see. Still working on the desk area. Maybe I'll show you guys that in the next video. And then I'm going to show you my new releases. So I did get out alphabet pillows on Saturday. You get all 5 charts for the price of 1, and I'm selling it PDF copy. And then if you do want the brass beads, you can purchase those separately. But if you purchase the paper copy, you will get the brass beads included in your price. So you're gonna get 19 of these babies. So yeah, super cute, perfect for spring. Stitch them as pillows, or stitch them like a bell pull, either vertically, horizontally, I think would be super, super cool. And there's all the DMC for all the pillows, for all 5. That's how small the color list is. So what else do I have to put out this week? Tea for 2 will be going up, as well as Patience, 1898 from Hands to Work. Look how freaking adorable. Yeah, that's right. I'm going to be bringing some Hands to Work charts to 1884 paper copy PDF. So stay tuned for those. All right, it is Monday, a little shy before 9 a.m. Grocery store today. I definitely got tan over the weekend. And I'll let you guys know what other things I did over the weekend, including booking another trip. That's right. I don't stay home very much, but you know what? Live your life. If you are able to travel, then do it. And I don't care if traveling is in a boat, if you take a cruise, if you do an airplane, if you do a road trip, if you do a weekend getaway. I don't care. Get out there and travel. You live only once. If you are able to travel, do it. Go check out a new little town by you. Get out and see the world. All right, you guys. I'll see you on the next one.